over the last year in particular, we've watched incredible developments in general aviation in particular. We're seeing the jet game become part of general aviation more and more. We've got 3 single-engine jets either on their way to production or on their way to test flights, or in some cases shortly after. We're seeing incredible cockpits, synthetic vision in ways we've never seen synthetic vision before. A lot of technologies are filtering down and providing the possibility for general aviation to make a case in some ways that it's far more versatile and far more valuable than it's ever been. What opportunities and what liabilities do you see for this new generation of general aviation aircraft?
The marketplace is changing. I mean, here at the fly-in, we've got everything from a Piper Cub and LSAs all the way up through medium-sized jet from Cessna. And in between are all these things you're talking about. We've got airplanes, single-engine piston, fixed gear, that go 235 knots. At least it says that on the sales bulletin next to it. My Baron, when I owned it, was pumping fuel into 2 engines. Went about 195 knots. And it was retractable, huge insurance, training, and everything else. So things are a-changing. And therefore, we as pilots who may be, oh, I want the good old days, I want the this, you're not a real pilot if you're not flying a tailwheel airplane and this and that, we have to realize that general aviation, like it or not, are 2 words that now identify an even broader range of activities. But there's some place in this for everyone. The new pilot who wants to get into this, doesn't have the money for $10,000 worth of flight lessons, may find, I just talked to a school today in the local area that was here at the fly-in, may find the LSA is the way to go.
Aero-TV is brought to you by Cirrus aircraft have always been easy to fly. Now they're easier than ever to buy. A complete line of ownership programs gives you everything you need to purchase, trade, finance, lease, insure, and warranty your Cirrus. There's even an ownership program for non-pilots. The Cirrus Access Pilot can teach you how to fly or fly the plane for you. Find out more at www.cirrusdesign.com. Cirrus, for the love of flying.
We that have a mandate and a mission by our founders, and currently not about to change that, are only taking on general aviation. And it's still a big, wide swath to cover. And I think it's exciting. It's one thing to get in these planes, but let's not bury our heads in them. The glass cockpits are wonderful. The synthetic vision is wonderful. There isn't a flight I make, whether it be in our company plane or in my own plane, but particularly in the company plane, that I'm not flying in that plane. It's all new technology. It's all glass. It's flying in the flight levels. It's getting to 45,000 feet if we need to. But I'm always learning something. I'm always, there is no one that isn't. How can I get in here in the storms that were here a couple weeks ago? Can I shoot the gap between it? So we have a lot of things other than just the airplane. It can be as technically advanced as possible. But I haven't seen an airliner or a technically advanced GA airplane go through that contoured magenta, not even red, heavy precipitation on a radar and make it through. So pilot education in this new world is really critical. What's the role of glass? What's the role of having some piloting skills? What's the backup plan? And then if you get all that mastered, so you got a new Cirrus or Columbia or any other high-tech airplane, and you got it down, they've signed you off, your instructor says you're ready to go. How are you going to cope with the rigors of the things that almost the acts of nature are going to bring, rather than just how do I make this thing work? So I think that is going to be a huge challenge. And I hate to sound like a purist, but with an Air Safety Foundation that constantly is scrambling to find courses on the internet, they've got some 30 courses now, and they're needing to attract a broader range. They're going to have to be able to talk to the uniqueness of some of the LSAs in crosswind conditions, and there are unique ones, to all the way to the pilot who's going to put jet fuel in the airplane, single-engine turboprop or small light jet. So all of this is going to be a big challenge for us. And then as owners or prospective owners, I see planes out here I drool upon, but I can't afford $600,000, $650,000 single, as wonderful as it may be. But it's exciting times, because we can even, like our sweepstakes plane, get a 1976 Archer and put in, once again, one of the newest companies, Aspen Avionics, and a glass panel that replaces the steam gauges for under $10,000. My gosh, a 76 airplane that you can buy used for maybe $40,000-$50,000 and put a little more money into it, and you may have a $250,000 airplane for under $100,000.
Aero-TV is brought to you by...
Today, there is an affordable, high-performance, easy-to-own and easy-to-operate very light jet designed with you in mind. Far less expensive than any other twin-engine jet to buy, it is also the least expensive to own and operate. It is the Eclipse 500, the jet that's easy to buy, easy to fly, and fun to own. The jet for you.
There's a constant complaint when you talk to people within the pilot community is that, well, we're getting kind of gray. And you mentioned that for the first time that in quite some time that the pilot stats had dipped below 600,000. Is there a solution to bringing more people into this and revitalizing the pilot ranks, or are we kind of doomed to dwindle away?
Well, I'm not willing to give up yet. I tell you, I've worked 18 years at trying to do something about this. And we've done a lot at AOPA. And EAA with Young Eagles has done a lot. But the problem is it's a 2-decade payoff in the main when you concentrate on intermediate or high school students. It's a 2-decade because who learns to fly today? The person who's got the kids kind of on their road out of the house, or at least in high school where they're paying more attention to their own friends. You don't have to take Johnny to the soccer game when they become a junior in high school. You know, they're anxious to get there to do whatever they do themselves. So the target for learning to fly today, and people, I know I'm probably heresy here saying it's not the kids. It is the kids. But there are others, including AOPA, that work hard on the kids, and nothing beats the Young Eagles program. Mm-hmm. But I really would like to concentrate more on the old buzzards. So while they have Young Eagles, we have old buzzards. And by that I mean, and we're sitting here in my office, and right outside is a ramp, and in a week or two, there'll be Young Eagles rides. And I'll get my 172 out of the hangar, and I'll be taking them up. And the kids will have that smile on their face, and you'll be, you know, they don't even realize they're with the AOPA President. They're in an airplane. And that's what counts. But you know what? There's an equal smile, and there's a latent commitment by the grandfathers, fathers, and mothers who are sitting on the berm watching this all take place. First of all, if they didn't have some interest in aviation, they would have never brought their kids to the airport to get in the plane with a stranger to go flying. Come on now. These people are targets. And that's the target AOPA continues to drive at. That person between 35 and 65, who we can increase the population today so that when those people I gave the Young Eagles rides to last year get of age, get the money, are solidly on a career, have raised their family or it's well underway, can go out to the airport and find the environment we have. We've done it with Project Pilot to some extent. We've done it in a lot of ways. But you know, the number keeps inching down. Slowly. I'll give you the boardroom speech, which, well, if we didn't spend that money, and I really believe it, imagine how low it would be now. So we've arrested it. We have proof of that. We know how many people we've put through this thing. The average age of a student pilot is 43 years old. Now, that's not a lot of young people. That's the people who can afford it going out and learning to fly.